Hi everyone, it's Marta, the business healer, here today to talk about what are the effects of business healing. This is kind of a new area. A lot of people talk about energy and a lot of people talk about work, but very few people are putting the two together, and that's where I step in because I believe that what's happening with your energy does not get checked at the door when you suddenly walk into work or when you suddenly start your business. The two really do inform and impact each other, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Thanks to those who are joining. So to do business healing, I work with clients on an energetic level, which means I'm working with their energy and I'm also understanding what are the things that are bothering them, either personally or in their business, because ultimately all of it lands together. And if you are a business owner, you are very much aware, as I've discovered, that whatever's happening with you shows up in your business. So we work on the energetic level, and there is a process that we go through. But first of all, it starts with learning what is happening with you and what you would like to change or understand or let go of. So we also address the retained impact of workplace experiences, things that went right, things that went wrong, things that just don't seem like things that we can let go of. So work-related healing is often dealing with something that most people are not aware of existing within them. And a lot of people aren't actually aware that they can use these tools to help them increase their overall satisfaction, their happiness at work, their effectiveness, and even to do things like prepare for pitches or product launches or web redesigns or anything else that they might have on their minds with work. So that's why I'm on a mission to normalize the discussion of energy in business, because in my experience, they have a lot to do with each other and they really, really impact the bottom line, especially the stuff that we're not conscious of, but that we keep running into walls about. So I did this healing in my own life and in my own business, and things started happening that were really cool. So I stuck with it, and now it's my business model. So I want to just share with you some of the things that clients have told me they've experienced in business healing sessions or after business healing sessions. So kind of on the immediate side, the 1 or 2 sessions, clients are telling me, and I don't guarantee results because I never know really what's going to happen. These are typical things that happen, and it's up to the particular combination of the healer and the client and whatever it is they want to let go of. Also, this is something that could be one and done, but often we have layers and patterns and things that need to be kind of chipped away at. So a lot can be released in one session, and that could be very, very profound. But I used to think that healing really only mattered if it was completely gone. And I've learned that even a little bit of healing, a little bit of release can be very powerful. So here are some of the things that people experience in between 1 and 3 sessions. And again, this is all stuff that my clients have told me about what their experience is. So one thing is pretty immediately, they feel seen and heard and understood. A lot of times we're not necessarily feeling that at work. Greater overall lightness. So just feeling lighter, feeling more present, feeling more grounded. These are effects that can happen immediately. I had a client a couple weeks ago who just said, I have no words. They wanted to be more present, more grounded, and to really feel like they were in their body, in control, and not being pulled and tugged in a bunch of directions. And so much clearing happened in that session that person was just like, wow, I don't even know what to say. I feel so different. And I was like, this is who you really are. This is you in your natural state. And it was very powerful. She's like, wow, we really have to see what else we can bring out of this. I'm really, really like how I feel, and I want to keep it going. Physical ease or pain relief. So this is something that a lot of clients come, they've got a persistent headache issue, they've got neck pain, they've got back pain, they have shoulder pain. All of this happens also when we're carrying a lot of burdens, but all of that physical pain that's just kind of like on the edge. One of my clients, I was working on her just in general, and she said, wow, this migraine I've had for 3 days, it's been really part of my consciousness is just like, I noticed it was gone by the end of the session. I was like, how is that? She's like, it's completely gone. So that's kind of a quick effect. Also, a release of stress. How often are we just feeling so overwhelmed by what we're doing, with the pressures we're under, the expectations of everybody in our work, and our expectations for ourselves, by the way, that is a huge thing. Sometimes we stress ourselves out because we have such high expectations for ourselves. So immediate stress relief, and some of the mental anguish, those voices that are just like spinning and feel like they're relentless. All of that can be an immediate effect, just a release of that mental anguish. Some clients have even said, I feel better about myself. I feel like I can take up more space. I can really be present. I can be who I am. I don't feel like I'm small anymore. I feel like I've grown 10 sizes or whatever, just with being able to release some of the stuff that I've been carrying around. Some people have also said, I have a whole lot more confidence in my work and in myself doing my work. So that's pretty profound. That's pretty important. Just to feel more like what you're doing and who you are, coming to it with a greater sense of confidence, that's pretty awesome. One other thing that people have said is, I have a new perspective on what happened. So a lot of times we're in these situations, something happens, we feel a way about it, or we have a story about it, and we can feel that that is very, very real. And all of that is very real because it's what we're living and what's in our consciousness. But oftentimes when I'm working with a client on a particular issue, a trauma or a setback or a piece of feedback or something that was rooted in childhood, often what happens is, with not carrying all of that immediate stuff, they have a different take on what actually happened because they're not cluttered in their energy so much, just holding on to that story and holding on to the feelings and thoughts that they don't realize they've stuffed in themselves and that are still causing pain, that are causing suffering. When that is removed, they actually have better ability to see what happened in that circumstance. So new perspective, being able to see what happened from a different standpoint, which is really powerful. Others have told me that they used to feel this guilt or shame around choices they made at work, choices they made at home, choices they made in both places, but something that they've been really holding on to that they felt shameful about. They have expressed to me that either went away or it was like 80% less. So of course, if that stuff is still hanging around, we would work on that again until it's gone. But the lightness and the ability to float and really just get above that stuff is one of the impacts of this kind of healing, and it can be really, really powerful. One other was greater awareness of boundary failures and their effects. So when we have our boundaries violated or when we're not able to hold our boundaries, we don't actually realize that we then become permeable to stuff from the outside. And when boundaries are broken persistently, one of the things that happens is that we become a little immune to understanding that we actually have boundaries because they keep us safe. So when you are in a position to let go of some of the anguish and the clutter that you've been holding inside from that boundary failure, and usually repeated boundary failures, when that effect is cleared, you have the ability to pretty much right away say, wow, I see that happening when your boundaries are actually being violated at that time. So when you're living it and it's a pattern, you don't notice it, you become immune to it a little bit. But when you have the ability to be clear, when that starts happening again, it is so obvious. So your perception of it is much greater. Your discernment and being able to tell what's happening when that is happening means that you have developed a sensitivity to understanding when that is happening again, because it feels so off, it feels so wrong. So wouldn't it be great if we all can maintain our boundaries and really uphold ourselves in the space that we need to do our work and to be who we are? One is just another positive thing, which is a feeling of empowerment or a feeling of hope. When we have some of this stress and anxiety removed, and we have our space cleared in our body, in our emotional body, in our mental body, in our physical body, we have a space, and with that space, oftentimes feelings that get overshadowed by the heavier, denser feelings get to shine. So what floats to the top is hope, empowerment, and a sense of peace. So all of those can happen very quickly within a couple of sessions. And then finally, and there are many, these are just the ones that I could think of that my clients recently shared with me within the last week or two, an increase in overall energy and motivation. So it's understandably so harder to feel passionate and to want to dive into something that feels painful or that feels a little bit heavy. So this is a way that we can create more space for that overall energy and motivation. When, again, it's like going on vacation, but this is a vacation that gives your emotional and mental and physical bodies just like a little bit of a break. And we do work on the physical body through the energy body. All of this clears space so that you can have more energy. Again, you have your energy, which is at a set point. When you start adding all this stuff, it depletes your energy. So just an energy boost is a natural thing that happens. So I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to share with you what are the effects of business healing over a longer period of time. I've been working with some of my clients for a much longer time, and I would love to share with you what are the longer term effects that happen when we do business healing on a longer term basis. And again, the idea is not that you're so sick and we need to fix what's wrong with you. That's not the point of what we're doing. The point of what we're doing is very intentionally looking at what are the things that cause repeated patterns of stress. We can actually tell in the energy body like where that stress originated and how to address it based on the patterns that are happening in your energy over time. So I'll get into that in a separate video. It's too long to talk about right now, but it is what we think and feel and where we hold our energy, where we hold our anxiety, where we hold our stress. It really does become very obvious when you start working on an energetic level. So we'll come back to that in a future video, and we'll talk about the longer term effects of business healing. So just to cap it off here, although a lot of immediate effects can happen from business healing, there's also a longer term effect that can happen that is just greater enhancement of your personal life, of your business life, of your ability to take up your own space and to keep your channel clear and pure and not suppressed, not stuffed, not taking on stuff from the outside, but being able to hold your center in your own energy. And again, I'm on a mission to normalize these conversations about energy and business because it has changed my life profoundly. It has helped me create success in my business. Give me the courage to do this, which I'm doing now, of energy and business and how all of these things play in the sandbox together. I'm super excited to share this work with you. If you have any questions or you're curious about having a session, hit me up. You can send me a message. You can send me an email. I'm at hello@thebusinesshealer.co, all one word, thebusinesshealer.co, or here, _business healer. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next time.